Mr. Ray. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bob Paskey Field here at the beautiful campus of Marion High School. I'd like to reach out a warm welcome to our friends from Bishop Chatard High School, and even those fallen alumni that now find themselves needing to sit on the north side of the stands. Welcome back to Marion High School. Tonight's game features the 12-1 Chatard Trojans, coached by Mr. Rob Doyle. Last week, the Trojans took on Fort Wayne Concordia and came out with a 56-28 win. Tonight, they will face Marion. Marion, coached by Mike Davidson, comes in with an identical 12-1 record, scoring 35.5 points a game at a defense that just allows a little over 6. And before we get too far in this, I'd like to congratulate both teams. Did a little research. There are 410 member schools in the IHSAA. Only 24 are playing football tonight. So if you see your friends from Penn or Mishawaka or St. Joe, ask them how their game went tonight. Here we go. A little information about Bishop Chatard. They play in the Circle City Conference in Indianapolis. Bishop Chatard High School is a Catholic co-educational preparatory high school in the Indianapolis Archdiocese. Chatard is located in the Broadriver district of Indianapolis with an enrollment of 714 students. The school is named after Bishop Silas Chatard, who was the first bishop in Indianapolis. He was famous for moving the diocese from Vincennes to Indianapolis in 1898. The first students were admitted to Chatard High School in 1961. A class was added each year, with the first graduating class in 1965. Since that time, Chatard has won 13 state championships. The last state championship in 2013 under Coach Vince Lorenzano. That was his 5th title in 14 years at the helm. And of note for us fans, in 2007, 2010, and 2011, Chatard beat St. Joe in the state finals. And for you Brave Hawk fans, Marion High School's history is Marion is a member, wrong school. Chatard fans, Marion High School is a member of the Northern Indiana Conference. It's one of 4 high schools in the Fort Wayne South Bend Diocese, the others being St. Joe, Bishop Wenger, Bishop Wars, and Fort Wayne. Marion was founded in 1964 by the Sisters of St. Francis, and we still have some of those nuns teaching here at the school. In the convent, located just across the street, Marion has an enrollment of 645 students. In football tournament history, Marion has been crowned state champions 3 times in 1973, 75, and 76. In the current playoff era, Marion is making its 5th visit to the semi-state round. Under longtime coach Reggie Gallant, Knights made it to this round in 99, 2012, 2015, and 2017. Marion was crowned the NIC South Champion for 2019 with an overall record of 4-1 in the South Division. And this 2019 team is playing and won their 5th consecutive sectional championship. Another game around the area in Class 6A, it's Maryville traveling to Greyhound Stadium to take on Carmel. Center Grove hosts Ben Davis. In Class 5A, Valpo hosting Pointer, and Bloomington South travels to New Palestine to Shepherd Field. In Class 4A, it's the Hobart Rickies traveling to East Noble. Evansville Memorial is hosting Mount Carmel. In Class 3A, Fayetteville, and of course, Bishop Chatard here in Mishawaka to take on tonight in Class 2A. It's the Andrean 59ers at Eastbrook and Western Boone at Triton Central. In Class 1A, Adams Central travels across the state to play Lafayette Central Catholic, and West Washington Senators are taking on Indianapolis Lutheran Saints in Indianapolis. As I said, the winner of this game will take on the winner.
The TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. It'll hardly be the case for us. Time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. And when you look at Bishop Chatard, really difficult to pick out just a couple of players, but when you look at the running game, it focuses on Dalen Taylor, the 5'10 senior running back, has rushed this year for 2,013 yards. He's fifth in the state of Indiana in rushing on just 211 carries, and he's found the end zone 28 times. That includes 5 touchdowns last week in the regional victory against Concordia. And then when they throw the ball, they like to throw it to Andrew Sawinski, the number 1 receiver all time in Bishop Chatard history. The 6-foot senior has 57 catches for 945 yards and 21 touchdowns. The keys to win for Rob Doyle and the Trojans.
The keys to win tonight for the Trojans. First off, they need to stop the run game. Marion's going to bring that running game at them, and they need to make sure they stop it up front on first down. Play keep away. They need to make sure that they don't have any turnovers and play keep away as in driving, sustaining some drives, and be road warriors. They had a great road victory last week. They want to have a great one this week and head on down to the state and be that road warrior team that they are.
Captains meeting at midfield for the reenactment of the coin toss as we look at the Marion keys to win. And the young man right there at the end, Tyler DeBow, one of the key players on this Marion team. As you see, the Knights won the toss and deferred. Bishop Chatard will receive. But DeBow, a two-way player on this team. He's a running back and has had to fill in quite a bit with Malcolm Anderson being a little bit lame the last couple of weeks. So DeBow has rushed for 209 yards, but he's made 106 tackles on defense this year to lead the Knights. And then another key two-way player right up on the line of scrimmage, Miguel Ortiz, all NIC defensive lineman for the second straight year, and also an outstanding offensive lineman. And the trenches are going to be where both coaches feel this game may be won or lost tonight.
Yeah, the keys to win for the Marion Knights. Well, it all starts up front. That's our first key with this Marion Knight team. Offense and defense, it really starts with those front guys in the trenches, making sure they get pushed on both sides of the ball, exploit field position. Mike Davison believes that if they get field position, they have to be able to score touchdowns. Last week, they weren't able to do that against Knox. This week, they have to, and create turnovers. This defense relies on creating turnovers, big plays, interceptions for touchdowns, not just creating them, but scoring on those turnovers as well. Chuck?
You look at the title history in terms of semi-states. Bishop Chatard has won 14 in 20 tries. Marion, yes, they do have 3 state titles, but there was not a semi-state level when they won those titles back in the 70s. So they are 0-5 all-time in semi-state games. It's what you would expect in November in northern Indiana. 33 degrees, but calm winds, no chance of rain. This is football weather. This is the 3A North Semi-State, and we are just about ready to tee it up at Atulski Field in Mishawaka. Marion in the royal blue uniforms with the white socks and the white sleeves and the silver helmets. And it's Bishop Chatard in their road whites with the royal blue numbers and the royal blue pants with the striping down the side. There you see the deep men for the Chatard Trojans. Andrew Sawinski wears number 22. Brady Cannell wears number 6, or Kinnett, excuse me. And we're just about ready for football action. That is Hunter Renner, the all-conference kicker for the Marion Knights, headed to Washington State University to play for Mike Leach next year. But he wants to defray that for a couple of weeks at least. The 3A North Semi-State is underway from Mishawaka. Sawinski makes a leaping grab at the goal line. And Sowinski drives it out to about the 23-yard line. And that's where Bishop Chatard will start at 1st and 10 with Kyle Cheek at the quarterback position. Cheek, the all-conference QB, a 5'11", 170-pound senior, has thrown for 1,918 yards and 29 touchdowns this season in his first season as a varsity quarterback. He was the backup last year to a young man now playing at Ball State by the name of Mark Nondorf.
I think one of the biggest things on this drive is really get the nerves out. This is a semi-state game, so both sides really need to get their nerves out of the way here in this first drive.
Dalen Taylor way back deep in the backfield at the tailback. You see a couple of tight ends in motion, and they'll pitch it to Taylor on the sweep. Trying to get through that Marion defense, but the Knights fly to the football and bring him down after a pickup of 1, and there's Miguel Ortiz on the stop. It gives us a chance to meet the Bishop Chatard offense. We told you about Cheek and Taylor and Sowinski. Thomas Coleman has had himself a good tournament as well. They throw to the tight end, Logan O'Brien. And along that front line, Alex Geisey, a returning starter this year, and Joseph Solomon, a young man who is headed to Tulane. Give him a pickup of 3 on the play from the spot of the football, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Cheek wants to throw and does. A nice diving snare at the 29-yard line by Dalen Taylor. That's his 15th catch of the year as we meet the Marion defense, sponsored by Marion High School. Along that front line, Isaac Hibbs with 10 sacks this year. We told you about DeBow, 106 tackles. The linebackers, a very solid unit. And Michael Schnippel is one of the state leaders in interceptions. He has 6 this year.
It's 3rd down and 3 for the Trojans.
Chatard looking at a 3rd and 3. Cheek will give it to Taylor. Taylor up the middle. The tackle made by Schaefer, but not until Dalen Taylor gets the first down and moves the chains for Bishop Chatard.
Chatard doing it like we thought they would. A little bit of a balance here. Run the first play, pass in the second, another run. Just a well-balanced team, and you're going to see a lot of Taylor up that middle off-tackle run plays, and then Cheeks trying to hit those quick outs, but they like to go deep as well with Cheeks.
Dakota Boyd was the pulling guard on that play. As you look at Rob Doyle, the 3rd-year head coach of the Chatard Trojans. The handoff to Taylor up the middle. Miguel Ortiz had it pretty well stacked up. Taylor tries to bounce it outside, and a swarm of blue jerseys will bring him down. At the bottom of the pile is Mitchell Menting, who has had himself a very good tournament. That's his 47th stop of the year.
Yeah, it starts up front when we talked about with this Marion Knights defense, and they have to have big stops on first down, stopping that running game, not letting them pick up more than 2 yards there. They did a great job of it. First series, they got about 3 or 4 in that first down run, and here it sets up a 2nd and 8.
Chatard is not afraid about making Taylor a workhorse in this offense. Man in motion is Jack Ane, but the throw is to Sowinski, and it's broken up nicely by the quarterback, Greg Atkinson. Atkinson comes over speedily to get in front of Sowinski on the slant.
Well, that was a great pass by Cheeks, too. He put it right on the money. You can see a great SBO replay of it right here. Great breakup right there. Exact timing on the play. Did not get there early. Great breakup. Good 2nd down stop for this Marion Knight team.
So now, Bishop Chatard looking at a 3rd and 8. Marion's defense has been the stalwart of this team all season long. Can they come up with a big play here on 3rd and 8? Showing blitz, will they come? One does. Naguna was picked up. The throw is dropped by Ane. It was a little bit behind him. He had to twist for it. And now Bishop Chatard will have to send the punt unit out.
Yeah, if that throw wasn't behind, he had quite a bit of room out there. Here you can see a great SBO replay of it. Throws right there. The linebacker was a little late getting out to there into the flats, but good stop by this Marion Knight defense. Get a quick turn or a quick punt by Chatard here and get the ball back. Maybe pretty good field position as well.
The sophomore Jack Ane averages 33 yards a punt. Marion has a very explosive punt returner in Greg Atkinson standing back at his 33-yard line. Flags thrown and whistles blown, and we'll get a chance to meet our officiating crew for the first time tonight. From up in the region, Andy Simpson signals offsides. Is the call. A 5-yard penalty against Marion will move the ball up to the 40. Andy working with Chuck Gardner, Donald Carnegie, Kevin Mikesell, and David Herbert. We saw this crew last week in the regional at Mishawaka.
Excellent crew, excellent job last week, and then there's a reason why they're here this week.
On 4th and 3, an A's punt will hit at the 33 and roll dead at the Marion 30. So a 30-yard punt with no return by Jack and A. And Marion gets to touch the football for the first time with 9:21 left in the first quarter. And Gabe Kerr at the controls at quarterback. Kerr, only a sophomore, takes over after the knee injury to Maddox Begonia, which has sidelined him for the season. So Begonia, who is an all-conference quarterback this year, has to yield to young Mr. Kerr. And we'll see how the 6', 156-pound sophomore fares here tonight. He does have Malcolm Anderson back in the backfield, and Anderson with a little stop-and-go move, battling his way up the field and finally taken down. That'll be a pickup of about 2 on the play, maybe 3 where they spot it. Malcolm Anderson playing with courage. Let's meet that Marion offense. Brought to us by our friends at Marion High School. As you see, Anderson, the leading ground gainer. Mitchell Florin just 3 catches away from setting a single-season record. They'll throw to the tight end, Eddie Murphy, and they've got a couple of all-conference linemen, and Aaron Fuller and Alec Mishler up front. It's 2nd and 8 after a pickup of 2 for Anderson. Kerr looking to throw. Rolls out, fires, and it's dropped by Jalen Johnson. Hit him right in the hands, but Johnson was worried about turning upfield and took his eye off the ball that time. It gives us a chance to meet the Bishop Chatard defense. Very strong unit. Georgia Sally, an all-conference tackle, leads that defensive line. You've got Pat Mastrian and Wyatt Schrader among the linebacking core. Mastrian going to play baseball at Michigan, and in the secondary, tell you what, Thomas Hoven has really come on strong in the second part of the season and taken over that cornerback position nicely. So it's 3rd and 8 for Marion after the incomplete pass. And now Kerr rolls out under pressure. Down he goes. They took the legs right out from under him, coming with some pressure that time. And Bishop Chatard is able to get to him with Max Schrag making the stop.
Yeah, we saw this a lot in week 2 against Northwood, just the presence that the Chatard defense has and their ability to swarm to the football. Here, just a great job of just getting in the backfield quick, not giving Kerr any time whatsoever, even set up or get any read off their defensive backs.
A loss of 9 on the play, and Hunter Renner, the all-state punter, comes on to do the honors. Renner with a high hanger that'll be fair caught back at the Bishop Chatard 37. And with 8:24 to go first quarter, we're scoreless on the 46 game of the week. And this edition of the TV 46 Game of the Week brought to us by Intera Credit Union. Since 1932, Intera has been invested in local communities. Join in at InteraCU.com. Bishop Chatard with the ball, 1st and 10 at its own 37. And they'll give it off to Dalen Taylor, and another wall of blue there to greet Taylor at the line. Miguel Ortiz and C.J. Naguna leading the charge for the Knights.
Hey, a big thank you goes out to Hacienda Mexican Restaurants for supporting high school athletics. It's the holiday season, and don't forget to gift your loved ones a Hacienda gift card so they can enjoy a wet burrito on you. Hacienda's 100 Center has been serving the community for over 40 years and wants to thank you and your continued support.
Great job feeding our crew tonight. Kyle Cheek, the senior quarterback, calls the signals and looks to throw. Jack and Nay drops that one as well.
I've seen a couple drops on both sides of the ball already tonight. Both receivers, one from Marion, one from Chatard here, trying to get out of their stance a little too early and being a little too quick. You can see her good throw by Cheeks. Just take your eye off her last second right there, trying to run before you get the ball.
So Cheek, 1 for 4 is Rob Doyle, former quarterback himself at DePauw University. And Andrean grad signals in the plays from the sidelines. It's 3rd and 9. Cheek, quarterback draw, takes it up the middle, and Tyler DeBow is there to make the stop. DeBow, who in the sectional championship made 20 tackles against Jimtown. Makes one here to force Chatard into a punting situation.
Oh, what a great job by this Marion defense. We talked about it. This is what has been their season the whole year, is just relying on this defense to shut down the opponent's offense. Here in the first 2 drives already against this highly powerful and potent Chatard offense, they've had some really good stops.
Jackanay with the punt. He hangs this one. Atkinson calls for the fair catch and dropped it, but he got back on it at the 35-yard line. Not a very long punt, 23 yards by an A that time. And very good field position for Marion with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Our four-quarter sponsor, CB Custom Painting, congratulates Marion on great football season and wishes the team good luck in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is a proud supporter of Marion High School and their athletic programs. And a special shout-out to Maddox Begonia.
Maddox, of course, sitting out with a knee injury we told you about. So here comes Gabe Kerr, quarterback again. Threw the ball well on his one pass that he tried tonight, but it was dropped. We'll see if the Knights can get a little something going with the running game here. They're going to give it to Malcolm Anderson again. Waited a long time on that mesh point. And Anderson, running with 2 torn menisci, takes it up to the 43-yard line. You heard me right. He has a torn meniscus in both knees. One will get surgery just a couple of days after the season, and the other will have to wait.
A lot of times you hear about injuries like this, and you're like, well, how can they still run? Well, it's one of those injuries where you're not going to damage it any more than what you already have, so that's why they're going ahead and allowing him to play at this time before they have surgery.
They fake it to Anderson, but Gabe Kerr is greeted rather rudely by Wyatt Schrader, the all-conference middle linebacker, who comes in and makes the hit. Schrader, who is also a rugby player and a wrestler, comes up seeming to favor his knee a little bit, but doing okay. A loss of 3 on the play. So it is 3rd down. Scoreboard says 6, but I'll say 5. Kerr from the gun. Under pressure again. And Kerr fires incomplete. He was very fortunate to get rid of the football. He was very fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Yeah, it's one of those. It looked like he held on to the ball a little long on that play. Could have got rid of it, but again, a little bit of an inexperience, normally in there in these situations with Maddox Begonia being hurt. So it's one of those things they're kind of learning on the fly right now.
So again, Renner to kick. Sawinski, the punt returner, we saw him return one for a touchdown against Northwood. Schrader coming in strong, couldn't get to it. Sawinski's going to let it hit, and it takes a Marion roll inside the 20 to the 16 for Hunter Renner. My goodness, that is the 29th punt he has put inside the 20 this year out of 39.
Weaver Consultants Group, located in Granger, Indiana, wants to wish the Marion Knights good luck tonight. Check out Weaver Consultants Group on the web at wcgrp.com to see how they can identify solutions to help you achieve your business needs.
Well, we're calling a baseball game, Bo. We'd be in the top of the 3rd with no score.
Just the way we would like it.
Each team with a couple of possessions so far, but only 1 first down, and that was made by Bishop Chatard. Here, Cheek will throw to Andrew Sawinski, who makes the grab and takes it up to the 23-yard line. Sawinski making the grab is nothing new. That is his 58th catch of the year. He needs 55 receiving yards tonight to get to 1,000 for the season. He got about 7 on that one.
A guy that's getting plenty of looks from some colleges, not quite some bigger ones, which Coach Doyle thinks some people need to start paying attention to this guy.
Cheek, 2 out of 5 throwing, uncorks another one. And A had to go to his knees to make that catch and wound up losing a couple.
Would have been better off just letting that go, but as an athlete, you're wanting to just try to catch everything.
Well, and especially because Ade had already had 2 drops tonight. I'm sure he wants to kind of get one into his hands. There you see Michael Davidson, the second-year Marion head coach, taking over for Reggie Glahn. Former defensive coordinator, former captain here at Marion, 20-6 in his 2 seasons at the helm. Cheek puts Taylor to his left. Cheek with time to throw, and it's almost intercepted by Greg Atkinson. They were trying to find Thomas Coleman, and Atkinson, who had a pick 6 against Knox last week, nearly pilfered another.
Well, you can see these DBs do such a great job of breaking on the ball. Here you can see the throw and just really breaking on that ball, and he would have been there right there as soon as the ball hit him, but it was a little high, and I think that's what threw him off for that interception.
Eddie Murphy with great elevation that time to force the high pass by Cheek. Ane with his third punt of the night. And Ane will hit this one. Marion will run away from it, and that ball will be stopped in Bishop Chatard territory, or right at the midfield stripe. So at the 50-yard line, Marion will take over, and slowly but surely, Bo, they're getting the field position battle they were looking for.
Yeah, and they were really looking to try to flip the field a few times here and there, and they've done a great job of really sustaining their drives. And Hunter Renner keep pushing them back, and that defense making their stops. They're able to get it here, and they're actually just mark it at the 49-yard line.
So in Bishop Chatard territory, this will be Marion's third possession of the night. And the Knights trying to crank something up right here. On an end around, it's Mitchell Florin, and he is erased on the play by Max Schrag. Schrag has had 2 big hits behind the line of scrimmage already in this game. And he does a marvelous job here. It's a little wonder Schrag was an all-conference linebacker. Florin loses 6 on the play.
Yeah, it's a great job. Just that swarming defense I talked about earlier. This Chatard team doesn't get out of position very often. What I mean by that is their linebackers, their linemen don't over-pursue a play. They play their position, and they play it properly.
Now on 2nd and 16, Kerr throws, and it's incomplete. He put it out in the general vicinity of Kyrell Franklin, but it wasn't all that close to anybody. It gave Kerr 0 for 3 throwing so far, and Marion rushing the football, 5 carries for -8 yards.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Kerr rolling out is he's getting pressure on him right away. They're just bringing guys. He isn't able to get set up, isn't able to read anything because he has guys in the backfield already. I think that's one of the biggest things.
And honestly, why wouldn't you blitz a young quarterback like that, especially in a big game like this?
Yeah, and that's proper. I think they just need to sit in the pocket because anytime he rolls out, they're just bringing those outside linebackers up.
Florin in motion again, but this time Kerr slings it a little too high. Marion looking for a flag, but they didn't get one. The pass intended for his brother Colin Kerr. But good coverage on the play by Thomas Hoven. And Marion suffers its third 3 and out of the first quarter.
Christensen Furniture is a locally family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen Furniture has everything you need for bedroom, dining room, living room, home office, home theater, and more. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
Renner with his third punt of the first quarter. Again, pressure from Chatard, and they bumped him, and the flag goes down. Wyatt Schrader runs into the kicker, and now the question is that a personal foul, or is it just a running into the kicker call?
It looks like Andy is just putting up 5 for a 5-yard penalty, running into the kicker. And reminder, our punts and kicks tonight for Marion are sponsored by Intune DJ Service.
And Andy Simpson gives it the 5-yard variety of running into the kicker, so they'll repeat the 4th down, and Renner will have to kick it again. Watch Schrader coming. He was hoping to get the block and went right into him.
Yeah. I think they'll go ahead and repunt this because Renner didn't quite get the punt that he wanted on this either. And so just an excellent opportunity to push him back even farther.
As Bo mentioned, the kick sponsored by Intune DJ Service. Our first quarter tonight sponsored by CB Custom Painting. We welcome all of you who are watching on our live stream tonight on both YouTube and Facebook. And also whoever might be watching through our link with the IHSAA.tv site. Fourth down and 11 for Renner and the Knights. And they'll re-kick it here with 3:18 to go first quarter. Good snap. Renner hits this one off the side of his foot a little bit, and it takes a sideways roll and goes down at about the 23-yard line. So only a 27-yard kick that time for Renner, and you just wonder if this constant pressure that Chatard is getting, even on the special teams, might have gotten to him a little bit.
Yeah, right there. I mean, last 2 punts there, even the one right before that they re-kicked, kind of kicked off the side of the foot just a little bit. Again, when you're trying to maybe put it inside the 20, you're trying to kick a little bit different. You're not trying to kick for length. So he might have took just a little bit too much off of it there as well.
Kind of like more like using the pitching wedge than the lawn iron.
Yep. As Bob would say, his pitching wedge just hit and stopped.
The pitch to Dalen Taylor. He gets a great block to get to the outside, and look out. He's got speed to burn. Taylor stiff arms a man, takes it into Marion territory all the way to the 30-yard line.
The first show of life for this Chatard offense. What a great job by Taylor reading that block, going inside the kick-out block. Here you can see a great replay, great kick-out, came through, cut to the outside. What a great job. And a big stiff arm there. Get out of my way. Big pickup for this Chatard offense on first down.
The receivers, Sam Ritchie and Thomas Coleman, with some big blocks, but you see Dalen Taylor is hurting over on the sidelines right now, favoring his left leg somewhat, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Chatard will turn to the backup, Darian Gilbert, who's had over 100 carries this year, and it's Gilbert going off the right side, and he's got some speed too, although he's tackled rather hard at the 33 by Michael Schnippel.
It's a great time to be a Marion Knight. Marion offers 32 different dual credit classes in collaboration with local college and universities. Students earn college credits to begin their college careers, and parents save on the cost of college tuition. Find out more at marionhs.org.
Michael Davidson, the former defensive coordinator, now the head coach, so he takes care of the defense on this Marion squad. It's 2nd and 5 from the Knight 33. Gilbert still in the backfield, but Cheek throws to Andrew Sawinski, and Sawinski with a head and shoulder fake takes it to the 27-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a first down for Bishop Chatard.
Chatard does a great job of running that quick pass, just a quick step back, get it out to him, and let your receiver do the work. But in order to have that happen, you have to have receivers that are able to block as well and pick up their block. Great job by Chatard on that with Sawinski.
The passing yardage has not been impressive so far tonight for Chatard, 4 of 8 for just 15 yards. We'll see if they try to air it out here on 1st and 10 or go back to Gilbert. It is Gilbert up the middle, and Gilbert with a good push against Miguel Ortiz, and now it looks like a rugby scrum. He'll get about 3 yards on the carry into the Marion 24-yard line. Gilbert, a transfer from Lawrence North.
Yeah, nice run right up the middle, just picking up a couple of yards by Gilbert there. Marion's defense, good step up, good stop here on first down. Getting inside close to that 20-yard line, they really need a big stop here on this second down play.
2nd and 7. You see the two receivers split wide to the top of your screen. It's Gilbert again off the side, and Gilbert runs into Isaac Hibbs over there, who lays the lumber to him. Hibbs, who is having an outstanding senior season with 67 tackles coming into this one, fights off the block and is there for a rather rude greeting. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Marion Knights brought a blitz on that play, really brought everybody just reading that play. They read run, so they blitzed it out, and that was a great job of really getting them in the backfield. Big 3rd down here for this Chatard offense.
See the clock in the bottom right-hand corner of that Intera Credit Union scoreboard. The play clock is down to 7. Chatard has to hustle here. And Rob Doyle called a timeout right before the play clock expired. So Rob Doyle not happy with what's going on right now as his team is in scoring position. He needs this big 3rd down conversion.
The Knights of Columbus have been protecting members and investing in conformity with Catholic teaching for over 136 years, dedicated to helping protect families with whole life, term life, long-term care, and disability income insurance, along with IRA and non-qualified retirement annuities. The Knights are your shield for life. For more information, contact the Stackowitz Agency at 574-282-1082 or philip.stackowitz@kofc.org.
You look at these state's top scoring defenses and you realize just how good Mishawaka Marion has been this year. And the team that's on top, they're playing in a 3A semi-state tonight too. So the winner of this game may well wind up facing Heritage Hills down at Lucas Oil Stadium next weekend. So really salty defenses, but when you're giving up less than a touchdown a game for the season, it's about as good as you can ask.
Yeah, I mean, and we've been saying all year, and it's not like Marion has played a weak conference or weak schedule as well. They've played 3 teams in the top 15 in Sagarin ratings in the 3A division.
On 3rd and 6, they'll give it to Gilbert. Big hole off the right side. He gets the first down. Schnippel makes the tackle, but not before Darian Gilbert moves the chains up to the 15-yard line for Bishop Chatard.
Looks like Taylor's coming back in the game now as well. Got his rest. Gilbert, what a great job subbing in there for Taylor, getting the job done, taking care of business while Taylor was getting healthy.
So the first quarter has come to an end at Mishawaka's Atulski Field in the Princess City. The emotions high tonight. Why wouldn't they be? A trip to Lucas Oil is on the line. Bishop Chatard and Mishawaka Marian scoreless on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to us by our friends at IHSAA. They're fulfilling the promise. We always promise you a sideline report at the end of the quarter. For the last few weeks, our buddy Bob Nagel has been sitting out, so Bo has come up here to fill the color duties. Bob will be rejoining us for basketball, but we still owe people that Bill's Eating sideline report. Your thoughts on that first quarter?
I think it was just a great job by that Marion defense. Speaking of Marion's side, a lot of people coming in this game thought it was going to be a lot of points scored by Chatard, but this defense we talked about is very stingy and very big, very physical, and with Chatard, they're getting some momentum going as well.
We saw them heating the footballs. Does the cold affect the football in a night like this?
I know it does kicking-wise, especially. Holding on to it a little bit as well, and throwing it, of course. So if it gets a little cold, we're not going to get any deflate gate or anything like that. But, it definitely does help out getting it heated a little bit.
1st and 10 from the Marion 15 as we begin quarter number 2. Knights showing a little blitz here at the bottom of the screen, and they come, and Taylor runs right through it to the end zone. Touchdown, Chatard. Dalen Taylor's 29th rushing touchdown of the year, a 15-yard jaunt to Patert, and the Trojans have struck first.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that ankle. It's definitely healthy. He just got a little dinger over there and got it taken care of because he got right back in there, and boy, did he make a cut on that play as well. Great cut back across the grain. First score of the night for this Chatard offense.
It takes him over 4,500 yards for his career at Bishop Chatard. George Forsey, 77 of 78 on extra points this year. Puts that one high into the Princess City Knight. And 5 seconds have elapsed here in quarter number 2. The Trojans on the board. Look at Taylor run right through the tackle there. And after that, he was untouched.
Yeah, it was just a great cutback there as well. I think he did a great job of reading that. Marion just didn't wrap up and tackle.
Taylor now with 6 carries for 62 yards here in the first half. And Marion will have to do something that they're not very experienced doing this year, and that is playing from behind, trailing 7-0 in this one.
Yeah, as we get the second quarter started here, reminder, CB Custom Painting is our 4-quarter sponsor tonight. Big shout out to CB Custom Painting for that sponsorship.
CB Custom Painting, as you mentioned, sponsoring our second quarter here. As you look at Mitchell Florin back deep for Marion, along with Davion Taylor. Greg Atkinson over on the far side. George Forsey, the kicker here for Bishop Chatard. And Forsey, the 5'9" senior on the approach. A short kick. It'll be taken by Florin at the 15. Florin gets wrapped up by Wyatt Schrader at the 30-yard line. You see what a premium Rob Doyle puts on special teams when he's got an all-conference linebacker out there on the kickoff team.
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys to this team as well.
Marion is yet to pick up a first down tonight. They take this ball at their own 29-yard line. We'll see what offensive coordinator Brett Badek dials up here for the Knights offense.
Knights offense really need to get some momentum here, really needs to start picking up some yards. Understandably, with a new quarterback in there, your offense needs to click against this type of a defense, but they need to start getting some momentum here.
And on the first play, there's no momentum to be had.
Well, you can see right there, just a great job by that outside linebacker, just taking away that. And that's one of those reads right there where you need to fake that. You can see him ride. And then right at the end, he let Anderson take it, and that's one Kerr has to keep himself.
Max Schrag getting Malcolm Anderson for a loss of 4 to set up a 2nd and 14 for Marion back at its own 25.
In tune, DJ service. Playing music is the easy part. Leading you through a smooth, trouble-free event is their specialty. You control all aspects of the reception, the dress code, music selection, volume, and more. Check them out at intunedj.com.
Anderson loses the football, and Bishop Chatard has it at the Marion 22. The Trojans, Jacob Shiblik comes up with it.
What a big turnover here. Inside Marion territory, deep, right at the 22-yard line. Big setup for Chatard here after that first score. Here with just still 11 minutes to go in the second quarter.
So the fumble recovery made, and Bishop Chatard with a short field at the Marion 22 with a chance to give itself a real good cushion here in the first half.
Marion's defense didn't have much time rest there. They're out on the field for quite a bit of time that last drive for Chatard, and here they have to trot back out there right away.
Only 54 seconds on that possession for Marion. Cheek wants to throw, looking for the end zone, and it is batted away on a beautiful defensive play by Michael Schnippel.
Good job by Schnippel getting around there. Looked like it was that Sinkowitz out there on that play. He had position. You can see the great throw by Cheeks on the inside and just couldn't come up with it.
They were looking for Coleman, as you said, but Schnippel came over and made the play. So Kyle Cheek looking at a 2nd and 10. Hands it off, Dalen Taylor. This time, Mitchell Menting does not miss the tackle, and it makes the stop about a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
Chatard trying to take a shot on that first down, brought up this 2nd and long, and went back to the run, and Marion was sitting all over it. Great job of this Marion defense after being on the field for that long drive.
But now a key 3rd down play here. And if you're Mike Davidson, you got to feel like Cheek is going to be looking for number 22, Andrew Sawinski here, the leading receiver on this.
Yeah, that little quick slant play they run, or the trap that they run with Taylor as well.
Sawinski stumbling as he left the blocks. Cheek looking down the field, has his man. It's complete. And the first down, a flag comes in late, though. It could be an ineligible receiver downfield as Thomas Coleman makes the catch.
Yep, that's the call. I saw that flag come as well. Saw a fly in the air. I didn't see any pass interference. Didn't see any holding the outside. Great call, Chuck. That was a ineligible guy. They might have had 2 guys downfield.
I saw some 50s and 60s, and we'll show you here in the wide shot, kind of an impromptu 46 film room here as Andy Simpson makes the call. But this is a really tough play. When the quarterback's rolling out, the line of scrimmage leaks forward, but look how far 55 is down the field here by the time Cheek gets rid of it. So Alex Geisy called for being the ineligible receiver. It's 3rd and 16 now for Cheek and the Trojans. Cheek, couple of steps. Now he's going to roll out, buy some time. Cheek wants to run and gets all the way down to the 17 before he gets ragdolled by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Marion Knight cornerback came up and tried to throw a blow rather than wrapping up. Let him pick up another 6-7 yards on that play.
It's a nice 11-yard pickup for Kyle Cheek, who is not necessarily known as a running quarterback, but you know what? He averages about 7 yards a carry this year. He got 11 on that one, set up a 4th and 6 with 9:48 to go in the first half. Clearly a huge play in the game, and it looks like Bishop Chatard is going to send the field goal unit out there.
Yeah, it looked like they were really contemplating going for it, and here they rush them out. They're going to have to hurry up. There's only 7 seconds on the play clock.
Well, and Jack Anay, the punter, was out on the field. So a lot of confusion. Forsey kicks the ball. It is up, and it is good. George Forsey with his first field goal of the year. And it comes with 9:45 to go in the first half. And Bishop Chatard, on the leg of the 5'9", 170-pound senior, takes a 10-0 lead on Marion on 46. Friends, this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by South Bend Orthopedics. They're the team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. The flag's flying high for the Bishop Chatard Trojans right now in the second quarter. They've managed to put 10 points on the board in the first 2:15 of the stanza. And now lead the Marion Knights by a count of 10-0 as George Forsey, the man of the moment right now, it's ready to put this one into play.
Yeah, we talked about that Marion offense last series, having to get something going, and they had a big turnover. So here again, they really need to get going here. Down 10-0 and haven't even picked up a first down yet here in this game.
Greg Atkinson with speed, but a flag comes in because that was a block in the back by Marion on the special teams.
Looks like I got 2 flags. Looks like Andy Simpson threw a flag over as well, maybe a holding call as well. So it's like both of them are going to be on the Marion Knights.
So some rough special teams execution that time by Marion. As you take a look at the veteran official Andy Simpson, does both football and basketball up here in the north.
It's that time of the year again, and think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, services, and installation of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and fireman discount. Find us at pyramidinc.com.
Well, it's offsetting penalties. 2 shoves in the back called by this officiating crew. Rob Doyle chastising his team for its execution, and they'll just have to reboot it.
And a couple replays tonight, or re-kicks tonight.
Rob Doyle, a practicing attorney in Indianapolis, 12 years an assistant at Chatard. His employers have been gracious enough to help him balance his legal duties and his head coaching duties. Not an easy balance to strike.
No, it's not. A lot of coaches, head coaches in major sports, they require you or want you to be a teacher in the school system or part of the school system. And adjunct coaches, which means you're not part of the school system and you have a job outside of coaching. It is tough to make that commitment and be there all the time for practices and all the meetings and everything they go through.
So this kick taken by Greg Atkinson deep. And Atkinson looking for some room to run, and there just isn't any. Good coverage by Anthony Boso and the Bishop Chatard Trojans, and they bring Atkinson down just shy of the 20-yard line.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies is celebrating 60 years as the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, and military defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more info. Like the teams in tonight's game, we're working for a great finish.
Marion only down 10-0, but their offense yet to get a first down tonight. So we'll see if the Knights can get something started here against this very solid Bishop Chatard defense. Gabe Kerr from the shotgun wants to throw, fires a bullet, and it's dropped by Colin Kerr, his brother.
Yeah, big stick by the Chatard defense there. You can see Kerr getting up a little slow on that play. You can see a great SBO replay of it.
Good hit in the back that time by Brady Kinnett, the defensive back, to separate Colin Kerr from the football. And yeah, Colin looks a little worse for wear as he goes to the sidelines. Gabe Kerr 0 for 5 throwing the football tonight, but he's had at least 2 drops from his receivers. He'll hand it off here to Malcolm Anderson, and Anderson powers his way upfield to the 24-yard line, a pickup of about 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6. Anderson with 5 carries for 9 yards tonight. He came into the game averaging over 7 yards a carry this season.
This Marion offense really needs to find something that's really getting them going, and Anderson might be the way. They might have to really, really lean heavily on Anderson.
3rd and 5 right now. Boy, that Knights defense could use a break too. Kerr fires, has his man, and the stop made as Davion Taylor makes the grab short of the first down sticks. He had to get to the 29. He's at the 28. 4th and 1. Decision time now for Mike Davidson and the Knights.
Yeah, I think this is one of the decisions they probably made pre-game coming in here. If we're down at a certain point-wise and distance-wise, what are we going to do and what type of play are we going to run? And here you can see they're running the play in. They're setting up to go for it. We'll see if that happens.
Tyrell Franklin will bring it in. The play clock is down to 10. Let's see if Marion will take a timeout here or try to run the play. And timeout called by the Marion Knights. The timeout sponsored by Christensen Furniture with 8:01 to go in the first half.
CB Custom Painting congratulates Marion on great football season and wishes the team good luck in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is a proud supporter of Marion High School and their athletic program. And a special shout out to Maddox Begonia, number 13.
A reminder that TV 46 brings you all 6 state finals of the Indiana High School Athletic Association tournament next Friday and Saturday live at Lucas Oil Stadium. The action begins Friday at noon with 3 finals, 1A, 3A, 5A, and then Saturday, 2A, 4A, 6A, all beginning at noon. So join us Thanksgiving weekend for an Indiana tradition, the state football finals from Indianapolis, live on TV 46. Rob Doyle had a son play in the state finals in the 2005 state finals that Northwood beat Bishop Chatard by a count of 7-0. He'd love to get back there as a head coach. His team up 10-0, and Marion has decided to punt the football away. Hunter Renner will do the honors. Renner, the soccer goalkeeper, hits a line drive that'll be fair caught by Andrew Sawinski at the 39-yard line. So a 33-yard punt with no return. And once again, Bishop Chatard getting good pressure on Hunter Renner, Bo, as we see in the SBO replay.
Yeah, I was just going to say something about that. You can see the pressure that it gets on him. He has to step off to the side. You can see him kind of shuffle step there. Doesn't get his full power into that ball when you're stepping off to the side like that and getting out of sync. So good pressure by that Chatard defense.
Big old Hayes Shepard was coming in there, number 77 for Bishop Chatard. Trojans have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 39. Dalen Taylor with 1 touchdown tonight, and he goes right up the middle here. Dalen Taylor in a foot race. Michael Schnippel finally brought him down at the 15. A 46-yard pickup for Dalen Taylor, who's now over 100 again for the Knights.
Wow, we saw that earlier this year, just the speed and explosion that Taylor has. What a great job of just breaking through that first line. And once he got to those linebackers, he was gone. There was nobody that's going to get him from that spot unless somebody got a great angle, which Marion did. Great run by Taylor.
Taylor steps out to catch his breath. Darian Gilbert checks in at the running back spot. Andy Simpson says run the clock with 7:40 and counting first half. Bishop Chatard trying to extend a 10-0 lead. Kyle Cheek, the quarterback, gives it off to Darian Gilbert, who turns the corner. Gets great blocking from Sawinski and scores a Trojan touchdown. A 16-yard run to pay dirt by Darian Gilbert, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Trojans have found their running game here in the second quarter.
What a great job by the play setup as well. Just the off-balance look, the shift over by that Chatard offense. They not only brought one guy, they brought 2 guys over, which gave them an unbalanced set on that side, gave them the numbers and gave them the ability to get some double-team blocks down and open that up for Gilbert.
So impressed with the blocking by the wideouts tonight for Bishop Chatard as George Forsey's extra point is up and good. 7:20 to go in the first half. Chatard now with a 17-0 lead, and we'll get one more look courtesy of SBO of the blocking up front. The receiver, Sam Ritchie, and then on the outside, Andrew Sawinski with the blocks to free Gilbert.
Our thanks to the teams from St. Andrews Products for making our crew look good. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Call 800-628-9922 or our email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what is the question?
So the Chatard Trojans failed to score in their first 3 possessions. They have scored in their next 3 and opened up a 17-0 lead on the Marion Knights. Bishop Chatard looking to get to the state championship game for the 15th time in school history. And oh, by the way, when they make it there, they're 13-1.
They're pretty good when they make it there. So it just tells you the tradition that this Chatard school has. 14 times down the state, 13 titles. Just one of those things when you get to this point and in a school that has a tradition, you believe and know that you're going to win every time.
Forsey's kick, a high spinner that'll be taken back at the 9-yard line. This is Michael Schnippel on the return. Schnippel lost the football and got back on it at the 10. And a late flag comes in as well.
Wow, that would have been tragedy there if he did not get back on that, down 17-0 already. See, the ball came out. Oh, man.
It was Pat Mastrian with the strip that time for Bishop Chatard, but Schnippel able to get on it, and then a blow to the head called against Bishop Chatard will be a 15-yard add-on and give Marion decent field position up the 25-yard line.
Yeah, a little bit of a late pile on. It's one of those things when the ball's loose and a player, you're going to try to jump on it. And unfortunately, at that point, he led with his helmet, and you can't do that.
So the Knights trailing by 17, still trying to come up with some way to move the football. New quarterback, Mitchell Florin, throws to the outside. He completes the pass to Kyrell Franklin for about a 5-yard pickup on the play. So Florin, the senior, coming in to play quarterback. He did it a little bit as an underclassman, as a backup, and makes his first completion of the night.
It's one of those things, and you're not able to move the ball with a quarterback in there, and this is a semi-state. You have to try everything to try to get an offense going.
Yeah, you have to have a quick hook in a game like this. So Florin now will scramble with the football. He's got room to run. He's got the Knights first down of the night as he gets to the midfield stripe. A 21-yard pickup for Florin and a first down sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Stackowitz Agency.
Yeah, that's why you pay head coaches to get in there and coach, because making decisions, it's a tough decision to take out a quarterback and put somebody else in there. But that's the spark this offense needed at this point. First down, sponsored by the Knights of Columbus.
Now let's see if Marion can keep some momentum here as they get to the midfield stripe. 3 receivers off to the left of Florin. But it's Malcolm Anderson up the middle, and there's just nowhere to go. He gets bulldogged down by Tim McNeilis, who you'll meet at halftime, the linebacker and our TCU Student Athlete of the Week. One of 14 members of his family who have attended Bishop Chatard High School.
we talked about tradition, and it's tradition in that family to go to Chatard.
Now, he said a lot of it's cousins and people like that, but still.
We get that around here with Marion as well. I mean, you got a lot of family members that have attended this, and it's a family thing here.
The McNeilis family has signed a few checks in their time. Let's put it that way. 2nd and 9. Florin pitches. Anderson on the outside gets to the 43, pickup of 6. But again, I think, Bo, Malcolm Anderson, he's trying real hard tonight. I don't want to take anything away. He just doesn't have the explosion in those knees. You can understand why with 2 torn menisci.
Yeah, and you can't take anything away from the Chatard defense, though. They are so fast to the ball, and they play their position so well. We saw it last week with that Valpo team against Mishawaka. They had guys that played their position so well and did not over-pursue and overplay the play and just played their position.
3rd and 4. Florin wants to throw. Under heavy pressure, tried to scramble and couldn't get away. Max Schrag, we've called the name all night. Then he has another stop behind the line of scrimmage.
McDonald Physical Therapy is proud to have Michiana's top physical therapists known for quality of care and patient focus. Remember, McDonald Physical Therapy when you need to get back in the game.
And when you go to McDonald Physical Therapy, ask for Fran and tell him Chuck Freeby sent you. It won't mean anything to him, but tell him anyway.
Yeah.
4th and 8 for the Marion Knights. And down 17-0. Michael Davidson's going to roll the dice here and go for it. And a timeout will be called by Marion. It's sponsored by Christensen Furniture.
Play clock was running down and didn't get the play in time again.
So 4:05 to go here in the first half.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. They're federally insured by the NCUA, and they're an equal housing opportunity.
College football on the radio is a way of life in Indiana in the fall, and we've got a double for you on Pulse FM tomorrow. We'll split our frequencies on 103.1 FM. Michigan goes into Tom Allen's house and tries to take on the Indiana Hoosiers. That starts at 3:30. Purdue goes to Madison trying to keep its bowl hopes alive. It's the Boilers and the Badgers Saturday at 4 on 92.1 and 96.9. Both Indiana and Purdue football on Pulse FM. Big 4th and 8 play here for Marion from the 48. Mitchell Florin's going to air it out, throwing it down the field. It's caught for the first down. Colin Kerr makes the grab down at the 25-yard line.
Ball was a little underthrown. Kerr had to come back for it. He actually had his defender beat. Here you can see the throw. Great job by Kerr coming back for that ball. Big first down sponsored by the Knights of Columbus, Stakowitz Agency.
2 for 2, 27 yards passing for the backup quarterback, Mitchell Florin. Florin wants to throw again. Why not? He feels it. He throws it a little wide that time as he was trying to get it to Colin Kerr again. Good coverage on the play that time by Thomas Coleman.
I think the biggest thing with Coach Davidson is they need to be able to pass to open up that running game. And what better way here at the end of the quarter than to just let Florin just kind of throw it around a little bit.
Florin, a young man who broke his wrist as a sophomore, started the season as the backup QB. Gabe Kerr was playing JV. Kerr played well enough to merit the number 2 spot. Florin was comfortable at receiver. Now he's got to fill in at quarterback here late in the first half. Looking at 2nd and 10, Davion Taylor hangs on to the football, and then Max Schrag just tackles everybody in the neighborhood, and flags come in.
Yeah, it looked like it got him right across the face mask, and he's saying, no, it's my arm across his face mask, but they're going to call that every time. If you get anything above that head, here you can see a great SBO replay. Yeah, it's just kind of, yeah. Even if he didn't grab it, they're going to call that. Looked like his fist was closed on that play.
So it was a 7-yard pickup on the play after the 5-yard face mask penalty. And do they repeat 2nd down? The down marker down on the field says 2nd. The one on the scoreboard says 3rd. So we'll see. 3 yards to go to move the chains. Florin wants to throw again. Schrag brings him down. That could be intentional grounding. I don't see a flag. There it is.
Oh, Schrag has been a force on this passing game. The pressure he gets on the quarterback every single time. And what it is the quarterbacks try to get outside the pocket rather than stepping up. And Schrag is right there to bring him down.
And especially with a kid who hasn't played a lot of quarterback, this is the kind of mistake you expect to make. But they've got to find a way to block Max Schrag, and nobody's done it tonight. That stop made all the way back at the 37-yard line. Loss of down on the play, so that's going to set up a 3rd and 23.
Yeah, we did clarify this 3rd down.
So wound up being basically a loss of 20 on the play. Here's Florin throwing deep. It's intercepted. Florin's pass is picked off. And back there to get it for Chatard is Leo Diltz.
It was a good pass by Florin down the seam, just a little overthrown, had the guy open, and great job playing center field by Chatard.
Funny you should mention that. Leo Diltz, a member of the baseball team at Bishop Chatard, and he looked like an outfielder going back for a fly ball.
I can tell a baseball player when I see one, that's for sure.
Batted .343 for the Trojans last year. So Chatard takes over 1st and 10 back at its own 8-yard line. Well, what looked like a promising drive for Marion now gives Bishop Chatard a chance to run some more clock and run some more Dalen Taylor.
I think the biggest thing here with this Marion defense is they really need to stop this Chatard offense. Cannot give up a big play here before half and cannot give up a score going into halftime. They need to get some momentum. As they just had some momentum on offense, they need to get some more momentum on defense here as well.
Taylor tonight, 9 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. They'll give it to him again. And Taylor trying to weave his way through people, bowls his way up to the 15-yard line, pick up about 4 on that play. While he's got that burst bow, he's not afraid to put his helmet down and go into people.
Taylor, a 5'10", 185-pound senior, one of those guys you think of, well, he's just one of those speed guys, but hey, no, he's going to lay a hit on you as well. He's going to bring it to you and make you bring him down.
He was an IHSAA Junior All-State player a year ago. It's 3rd and 3 for the Trojans. It's Taylor one more time, and Taylor gets the first down as he spins forward for 5. Ball popped loose. Big pile down there. Who's on it? And it appears to be Bishop Chatard football and a first down for the Trojans.
CB Custom Painting congratulates Marion on great football season and wishes the team good luck in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is a proud supporter of Marion High School and their athletic program. And a special shout out to number 13, Maddox Begonia.
Taylor was able to corral that bouncing football and bring it back in. Minute 44 to go before halftime. Let's see if they'll air it out here a little bit with Kyle Cheek. They want to. Cheek throws, and it's over the head of Andrew Sawinski, his intended receiver. Cheek has not had the best of nights throwing the football tonight. He's 4 out of 10. He's had a couple of drops, to be fair.
Yeah, one of those things when you look at, you think this is going to be a running team. Well, Cheeks with 29 touchdowns on the year and over 2,000 yards passing. So they're a well-balanced team. And, yeah, definitely from the first time we saw him until this week, a little off on his passes, and especially to Sinkwitz, who they're usually right in sync.
Cheek wants to throw again. Fires a bullet this time. It's caught by Andrew Sawinski as he goes out of bounds to stop the clock up at the 45-yard line. Pickup of 24 on the play for Sawinski.
Sawinski, a great job there. Just a back shoulder throw by Cheek to Sawinski. Great job there, turning around, picking up the big yards needed for the first down.
Sawinski now with 37 receiving yards on the night. He needs 55 to get to 1,000. Cheek going to throw again. And this time, a diving attempt made at the catch, but it goes out of bounds. They were looking for Dalen Taylor. He's not a very big kid at 5'10".
Yeah, great effort by Taylor, though. You see a great effort here on the SBO replay. Just lays out. Just could not come up with that ball. Man, he goes all out, doesn't he?
He does. Even though he had that ankle problem early in the game, it has not affected his effort one iota. He was out here before the game tonight, working out without a shirt on in 33-degree weather.
Is that tough or is that high school kid?
Both. Here's Cheek throwing. Sawinski with the catch on the slant pattern. Another first down in the night territory at the 42. Pickup of 13 on the play.
Yeah, if you need to get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedics, their team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. That's South Bend Orthopedics.
Sawinski had 6 receptions against Concordia last week. He's got 4 tonight. Make it 5 as he'll step, or no, that's not Sawinski. That's Thomas Coleman that time with the grab. Up at the 29-yard line. And a pickup of about 13 on that one.
Well, just as you said, not sure if Cheek's really in sync tonight. Well, 3 passes in a row right there on the money. Just a great job getting in that rhythm, and their passing game really picking up efficiency now.
Back-to-back 13-yard strikes here. Has them inside the Marion 30 with 1:09 to go in the first half. Cheek has the hot hand. He's going to go deep. He's got his man out there. It is caught. Andrew Sawinski has done it again.
What we talked about earlier with Sawinski, just a kid that is very competitive, just a great job of going up and getting the ball, great hands. Way to hold on to that ball.
Rob Doyle was adamant before the game the teams are making a mistake at the collegiate level, not coming to get Andrew Sawinski. I asked him, I said, are MAC teams looking at him? Because I can see him playing at a place like Ball State, Eastern Michigan very easily. Yeah. But so far, no nibbles from that conference.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised. Just a highly educated kid as well. Just great grades in the classroom. Just a great young human being, young athlete as well. And on the football field, just a phenomenal player and just setting records as well.
5 catches, 74 yards. He's now over 1,000 yards receiving for the season at 10-19. 62 catches. That's the Chatard single season record. He had 53 last year. I don't know what more you need to do in a high school career. But let's take a look at this drive that Bishop Chatard has put together after the interception. Remember the interception made by Diltz back at the 8-yard line. And then Kyle Cheek came out firing. Andrew Sawinski on one side. And then he goes to Thomas Coleman. And then this beautiful grab by Sawinski right in front of the Marion DB. And all of a sudden it's 1st and goal for Bishop Chatard with 1:04 to go in the first half.
Yeah, this would be a big score for Chatard to go up like 24 points going into halftime if they were able to get this, get the momentum completely away from Marion if they were able to do this.
One back in the backfield, it's Dalen Taylor. One guy to watch, it's Dalen Taylor diving forward to the 1. A 4-yard pickup that time for Taylor.
Great surge by that offensive line on that last play right there. Just a big push. You can see just 2-3 yards downfield already before Taylor even hits the line of scrimmage. He's already picked up 2 yards.
And now they'll go right behind Alex Geisey, the center, and Kyle Cheek is into the end zone for the touchdown. His 5th TD of the year, and it's 23-0 Trojans. Geisey, the 3-sport athlete. He also wrestles and plays lacrosse. And he looked like the tractor harvesting the field that time. He just kept plowing through. So Cheek's 3rd carry of the night gets him into the end zone. George Forcion to try the extra point with 36.9 to go before halftime. Chatard is in command. The Trojans lead at 24-0. One more look at the touchdown run and the surge that you talked about, the run before.
That one is even more than that one. Quarterback, I mean, by the time he hit the ground, he was 5 yards into the end zone on that play. A 0-0 score at half or at the end of the first quarter. 24 unanswered points by this Chatard offense. just doing it balanced as well, as we talked about, how balanced this team is running and passing the ball. Just a great job with Taylor on the ground and Cheek through the air to Sawinski. Just a great combination they have.
And Bishop Chatard perhaps just 1/2 away from going to the state championship game for the 15th time in school history. Bob Doyle was telling us before the game how last year in the semi-state against Evansville Memorial, they made 7 turnovers in the game.
Yeah, that was a stat I did not know. And knowing that stat, I guarantee these seniors, which he talked about, were very adamant about going to the state and getting back to this semi-state level and showing that they deserve to be a state champion and getting down there.
It is a hungry group, and they've been feasting on the Knights tonight. Mitchell Florin again, this time on special teams, takes it all the way up to the 36-yard line. And one last gasp here for Marion before halftime to see if they can at least get in field goal range for Hunter Renner. In case you weren't with us at the beginning, Marion playing without its starting all-conference quarterback, Maddox Begonia, out for the year with a knee injury. Gabe Kerr started the game for Marion. Florin came in on the last possession, got the Knights down the field, but was picked off back at the 8-yard line. Now Florin will hand it off, and the run by Michael Murphy takes it up to the 44-yard line. Murphy with his first carry of the night, but he's got 341 rushing yards on the year. That was a pickup of 7.
Yeah, timeout by Marion here, preserving a little bit of time to see if maybe they can get in field goal range. Renner does have a big leg and is able to maybe kick a long field goal if they can get down.
Timeout sponsored by Christensen Furniture. Reminder, we've got women's basketball on the air tomorrow on Pulse FM as Muffin McGraw's squad, coming off an exciting win over Toledo on Wednesday night. Purcell Pavilion has to go to Chrysler Arena and take on the 21st-ranked Michigan Wolverines. Connor Klingon has the call, 92.1 and 96.9, Saturday at 1 on Pulse FM. Couple of exciting games at Purcell Pavilion this week, Wednesday and Thursday, as the Irish had to do their best on both the men's and women's side to escape Toledo.
Yeah.
Here, there's been no escaping the Bishop Chatard Trojans for the Marion Knights tonight, as Marion trails 24-0 with the ball, 19 seconds left before halftime. Mitchell Florin looks to throw, scrambles, and down he goes. George IHSAA comes in and makes the hit. Sally, the all-conference defensive end, gets his 4th sack of the season. Sally with a 3.5 GPA, and you'd have to give the Bishop Chatard Trojans an A+ for that first half, as it was all Chatard in the second quarter. They put 24 on the board in the stanza, and they lead it 24-zip. When we come back, we'll have our TCU Student Athletes of the Week and halftime highlights next on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV46 for 30 years. The 3A North Semi-State has been in Bishop Chatard's favor in the second quarter, and the Trojans lead at 24-0 at the intermission over the fourth-ranked Marion Knights. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hutt high above the fray here at Atulski Field. Partner, a very impressive performance here, not only by Chatard on offense. Really, the Chatard defense has owned the day.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing because they've gotten great field position with that defense and really shut that Marion offense down. We knew Marion offense would struggle a little bit coming in, but not this bad because this Chatard defense, wow, they really stepped up. They fly to the ball, and they're able to really shut down that offense.
Let's show you how it got to be this way here at Atulski Field tonight as we take a look at our first half highlights. Both teams came out fired up for this one, as you would expect in a semi-state tournament. They were using the heater on the footballs in 33-degree weather. First play of the second quarter, Dalen Taylor takes it in from 15 yards out to put Chatard on the board 7-0. Then a fumble by Malcolm Anderson recovered by Bishop Chatard, and the Trojans would go right to work after that. As you see the recovery made there, a field goal by George Forsey would make it a 10-0 game, Bishop Chatard at that time. But then the backbreaker came on the next Chatard possession. Taylor right up the middle on a 45-yard run that Michael Schnippel stopped. The next play, Devion Gilbert takes it in for the score. The Trojans needed just 2 plays to go 60 yards and take a 17-0 lead. Marion put in Mitchell Florin at quarterback. He got picked off by Leo Diltz back at the 8-yard line. And then a very impressive 2-minute drill drive by Kyle Cheek going to Andrew Sawinski, Thomas Coleman. Take a look at this grab by Sawinski over on the sideline. And then it's Cheek himself who engineered the drive, reaping the harvest as he takes it on in for the score, 24-0 at the intermission. And both the stats are as lopsided as the score.
And that's the stats are going to show you exactly what you expect if you saw that score, 24-0. The biggest thing is Marion Knights, minus 15 yards rushing. When you look at that, this is a team that's built on that offense to run the ball. minus 15 yards rushing is not going to cut it for sure. I think that's the biggest thing. And getting into those long passing situations, a lot of that is drop back as well.
Now, remember, in high school football, sacks count against your rushing yards, so that's why that number is skewed to that point. But for Marion, now with a third-string quarterback in there trying to come back from 24, Notre Dame uses the line, what though the odds be great or small? Well, the odds are pretty great against the Knights right now.
I think the biggest thing is they really need to come out and they need to get a little bit of motivation and some drive on that offense. In the first series, come out, pick up some yards, pick up some first downs. Only a couple first downs in that first half, and they really need to pick up some first downs. Take some pressure off their defense. That's the biggest thing. Take some pressure off that defense. Get some things rolling in order to turn this thing around.
The Knights will receive the second half kickoff to start things off when we come back to Atulski Field. This has been our halftime report on TV 46, brought to you by CV Custom Painting. Bishop Chatard on top of Marion, 24-0. This edition of the CV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter. Halftime at Atulski Field, 24-0 in favor of Bishop Chatard. We go to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report, even though you're up here in the booth. If you're Michael Davidson, that's got to be the toughest halftime talk to give, because you've got a team that's playing its heart out. They trail by 24 against an absolute juggernaut. What on earth do you even tell them?
Well, I think you just go back to the core things that you've been working on all year, and you got to stick with those things. And, you know, it's not time to really reminisce about all the hard work that you put in. And, you know, you need to come out here and take all that energy and go out there, and the time and effort that you put in the off season and all those things, that stuff was done before the game and stuff like that. And throughout the week, you know, now is the time to really talk about, hey, let's still have heart. Let's still go out there. Let's, play Marion night football. Let's play our game. Let's start getting some, a little bit of momentum here on this first drive and see what we can come up with, and just see how this game plays out. But don't give up. Don't give in. And I'm sure this Marion night team is not going to at all.
And on the other side, Rob Doyle's going to tell his team, don't take your foot off the gas.
Yep.
You had a really good second quarter. Didn't play that well in the first quarter. Let's see if you can finish strong and punch your ticket to play for one more week down in Indianapolis. By the way, an apology to pass along to show you what an interactive medium we have become with the streaming. We got a message from Tracy at halftime. And Tracy tells us that Max Schragi is how we pronounce that, not Max Schrag. Now, I'll tell you exactly why I called him Max Schrag. Because the baseball coach at Butler University, not too far from the campus of Indianapolis Chatard, is Dave Schrag. And I worked with Dave when he was coaching up here at Notre Dame. So when I see Schrage, I automatically think that's Schrag. In the case of Max, it's Schragi, who was far from foggy in the first half with a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, boy. Fantastic plays behind the line of scrimmage. And we talked about this defense at halftime, about how spectacular the Chatard defense was. And it was guys like Schragi who really... Schragi. I'll get it.
We're both working on it, pal. Don't worry about it. So he played such a superior first half. Though.
Just get in that backfield and the effort that he gave, and there you see a great picture of him right there.
So Bishop Chatard will kick off to begin the third quarter. A third quarter sponsored by CB Custom Painting. George Forsey is on the approach. Toe meets leather, and the second half is underway. The ball taken back at the 5-yard line by Devion Taylor. And Taylor up the sidelines. Ooh, does he take a lick from Tim McNeilis right there at the 33-yard line.
Tim McNeilis, our student athlete, you guys got to see at halftime.
Boy, what an impressive young man he was. The poise that he showed on that interview and the lumber that he just laid on that hit.
We'll see what this Marion offense comes out. If they come out with Florian or back with Kerr.
Tell you what, between Hunter and Renner and Tim McNeilis, I felt like a very short man standing there with those two big boys there. 36-yard line, the line of scrimmage, as you take a look at Mitchell Florin at quarterback for Marion. Florin with the one interception in the first half. They showed jet sweep motion, then a quarterback draw for Florin, and he gets corralled after a pickup of about 3 on the play. Big Hayes Shepard coming in there and makes the stop. Shepard, the 6'1", 220-pound senior.
Florin tried to pick up some yards on his own there. Just a little bit quicker of a quarterback on his feet there. Able to get up through that line, but that defense by Chatard closing hard and not letting him pick up more than 2.5 yards there.
So it's 2nd and 8. Florin wants to throw, has some time, gets it out in the flat, but Devion Taylor was right at the line of scrimmage when he was brought down. Looks like Wyatt Schrader got over there and made the stop. Schrader, the middle linebacker of the Chatard defense.
I think the biggest thing with the Chatard defense, too, is their ability to wrap up when they get to the point of contact. They don't miss tackles. They don't go for the big hit. They go for the big hit and wrap up at the same time, and you can see that there on that last play.
Florin, 4 of 6 throwing the ball so far. with the one interception for 29 yards. Play clock down to 5. Florin wants to throw here. Again, flushed out of the pocket, and down he goes. McNeilis comes in for the sack. So Tim McNeilis, a member of the basketball team at Bishop Chatard as well, comes roaring past his man and gets the sack on Florin about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
The Chatard defense left off right where they did in that first half. Just aggressive, just going at it, being physical out there, and no holds barred on that front four there for him.
So Hunter Renner comes on in punt formation, standing back at his own 20, and he gets off a nice hanging kick here that Sawinski will field at the 38-yard line. A 29-yard kick with no return, and good field position for Kyle Cheek and the Chatard offense as they come out with a 24-0 cushion.
We'll see if this offense left off where they did in the first half. Dalen Taylor, great job on the ground, and Cheek, great job in the air. Sawinski, just a force on the outside as well. Just a three-headed horse for this Trojan offense.
Cheek, a tough, hard-nosed quarterback, but he had a little bit of a lesson to learn in game 1 of the season. He lost his voice calling the signals. He's got to go more from the diaphragm. He throws to Jack Ane here, who nearly split the defense and gets taken down at the 30-yard line. A pickup of 31. We'll spot it at the 27. A pickup of 34 on the play.
What a great job by Cheek, just hitting the seam on that route right down the middle. And again, you can see the difference between Marion's defense and the Chatard. Marion went for the big hit there. Both guys, they didn't go for the hit and wrap. And the receiver there almost was able to break it and go the distance.
Cheek now 126 yards passing tonight after a slow start. That 2-minute drive in the first half really got him connected. Now he'll hand it off to Dalen Taylor, and Taylor battling for yardage up the middle. Picks up about 4 on the play.
A big thank you goes out to Hacienda Mexican Restaurants for supporting high school athletics. It's holiday season, and don't forget to give your loved ones a Hacienda gift card so they can enjoy a wet burrito on you. Hacienda's 100 Center has been serving the community for over 40 years and want to thank you for your continued support, and a big thank you for feeding our crew tonight.
40 years of wet burritos. Man, I can't imagine how many they must have made at that place over the years.
I've eaten about half of them.
2nd and 6. Cheek wants to throw and does. What a beautiful diving grab by Andrew Sawinski, and a late flag comes in on the play. If the play stands up, Sawinski has the first down, but we'll see what this is all about.
Ineligible downfield.
Second time tonight that's been called against Bishop Chatard.
You normally don't see that on a quick pass play like
No.
that. Ineligible downfield.
The only thing I can think of is maybe the receiver was covered up on the play, and therefore he shouldn't have been going downfield. But that is a 5-yard penalty from the spot, and that'll make it 2nd and 11. Cheek in the pistol. Ane in motion, and was a timeout called or a false start? It's a false start on Bishop Chatard, and 2nd and 16. Perhaps a little bit of a loss of focus here.
Yeah, that's one of the things when you get a lead, especially at halftime, coming back out in an important game like this too, in a semi-state. You go in the locker room, you have a 24-point lead, and you're one game away from going to the state championship. You might lose a little bit of focus in that locker room as a 16, 17, 18-year-old player.
You're thinking about next week.
I'm thinking about, hey, what are we doing, for shoes for down there at state? Are we going to stay after the game with some friends? Who's all going to go? What hotels are we going to go to?
Especially a team, even though they come from a traditional power, they haven't been there for a while. They fake it to Ane, and they give it off to Taylor, and that didn't work real well this time. The Knights sniffed that one out pretty well. And Taylor is stopped for a loss of 1 on the play.
Had 2 penalties and a loss of yards on a run play there by the Chatard offense.
Isaac Hibbs with a one-arm tackle, but that kind of shows the strength that young man has. 6'1", 223-pound senior. So impressed talking to him this week at practice, Bo. even though he has had a spectacular senior season, all he wanted to do was talk about the team. 3rd and 17. Ane in motion. Cheek throws out in the flat and has Dalen Taylor, and that's trouble. Dalen Taylor is off to the races. Touchdown, Bishop Chatard.
Give Taylor just a little bit of room, and he's going to make you pay for it. And you can see right there the speed, the burst, the ability to read and set up blocks as he's running. It's just uncanny. Here you can see a great job getting out in the flats, picking up that ball. Not one person laid a hand on him.
So Dalen Taylor with a 34-yard touchdown reception, his second TD catch of the year. Cheek now at 160 yards passing, and Bishop Chatard has rolled up a 30-0 lead, and they can add to it here with George Forcion to try the extra point. The snap is good. Pat Mastrian's hold is good, and so is the kick. And with 7:18 to go in the third, the Chatard Trojans look like they're headed to the 3A state championship game. They're dominating the North Semi-State behind that young man, Dalen Taylor. 31-0 Chatard on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Take a look at that Bishop Chatard sideline. Kyle Cheek, all smiles over there, and why wouldn't the quarterback be? He's got that guy, Dalen Taylor, with the muddied-up uniform. And Cheek, in his first year as the starting quarterback at Chatard, maybe taking them to the state finals, and who knows, a state championship.
And we talked about this Marion team, the kind of the competition they played with, beating Jimtown twice, beating Knox, beating West Noble as well. Just 3 teams that are ranked in the top 15, 4 wins against them. Well, this Chatard team, according to Saturn ratings, number 8, Fort Wayne Concordia. Well, they beat them 56-28. No big deal. Garin Catholic, number 6 rated team, 35-7. For Buff twice, number 5 Saturn ratings team. Both times they scored 49 points against them. And West Lafayette, number 2 rated team, beat them 42-14. Average of 32 points a game. And oh, by the way, they beat 5A Bloomington South.
Who's playing in a semi-state?
Who's playing in a semi-state? 42-7.
The only reason people up here aren't more familiar with Bishop Chatard, and most football fans are, but they used to always take the southern route through the tournament. This is the first year they've been given a northern route to get there. And we have learned about them quite a bit this year as Mitchell Florin carries the football on the quarterback draw and has a first down up to the 40-yard line, sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Stakowitz Agency. That play has worked twice tonight for Florin and the Knights.
Weaver Consultants Group, your proud sponsors. They're located in Granger, Indiana, and they want to wish the Marion Knights good luck tonight. Check out Weaver Consultants Group on the web at wcgrp.com to see how they can identify solutions to help you achieve your business needs.
Good news for Marion is they're now in positive yardage in the rushing game. The bad news is they still trail 31-0 here in the third. It's Florin again on the option. The pitch to Anderson, and Malcolm Anderson is able to get about 5 or 6 yards before he gets upended by Joe Calvert, the junior linebacker, and Anderson, who's got those 2 bad knees, a little bit slow to get up. The fact that he is still in there playing and giving his heart in a 31-0 game speaks volumes.
I think that's the biggest thing with this team is, they believe in each other and brothers. You can see them coming off now, just kind of limping just a little bit. Coming off the sideline is they don't want to give in for each other. They believe in each other. They want to be there for each other, and just a prime example of Anderson doing that for his teammates.
Murphy checks in. And Michael Murphy in the backfield gets the handoff and dives forward, very close to the first down marker. They're going to spot him right on the midfield stripe, and he had to get just a smidge past that to get the first down. Murphy is the running back of the future here at Marion. He had 341 yards on 63 carries coming into this game. 5'9", 158 pounds, so not physically imposing. They do give him the first down, spotting the ball past the 50. It's sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Stackowitz Agency.
Yeah, a little bit of a good spot there for the Marion Knights on that. Looked like he was stopped quite a bit short of that, but got a favorable spot and pick up a first down and exactly the momentum that they need right now.
Less than 5.5 to go here in the third. The handoff to Murphy again on the option, and Murphy gets knocked out of bounds after a 5-yard pickup. 3 carries and 17 yards for the sophomore.
Christensen Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theater, and more. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
2nd and 5. Florin, deep drop. They want to throw a screen. Murphy makes the catch, and then he gets hauled down from behind by George IHSAA after a pickup of 3. IHSAA, well, I'd say he's a strong young man. He squats 500 pounds.
Just not too bad.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Great play by that defense there, by the way, on that screen.
They read it well.
They did. They had a couple guys really charging the quarterback, but the guys that were supposed to stay back, when they read that as an offensive lineman lets them go, they have to read that quickly and come off.
3rd and 2. It's Murphy on the carry. Nice little move. Has the first down and more. Murphy down inside the 20 to the 10. A 32-yard pickup for the sophomore.
Great run by Murphy on that play. You can see right here, coming up the middle, good cutback, being patient, finding the hole, and good bust through, and great field position down to the 6-yard line, 11-yard line, for this Marion Knight offense.
31-yard pickup for Murphy. It's a first down sponsored by the Stackowitz Agency and Knights of Columbus. Throw by Florin in the flat. He's got Jalen Johnson out there, and Johnson, the transfer from South Bend, Washington, knocked down by Pat Mastrian, the senior all-conference linebacker, who's headed to play baseball at the University of Michigan. He's got a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, Bo.
Yeah, in high school, that's quite a bit of a zip on the ball when you're in the high school ranks for pitching. Definitely going to be recruited at the highest level, having a fastball in that range.
Meanwhile, Johnson with the catch there, his 26th grab of the season. Florin running the option, pitches behind Murphy, and it'll be scooped up by Mastrian, and Mastrian gets hauled down from behind at the 30-yard line.
The pressure from Chatard's defensive line coming in on that, and Florian and Murphy, not this normal combination you're going to have in there. And when you're running that option play, that is a tough play because you see Murphy cut up just a little bit too soon on that because he's not used to Florin back there at quarterback.
So Pat Mastrian with the fumble recovery. And the 3rd turnover of the night for the Marion Knights, who felt like they had to play a near-perfect game coming in. Well, it hasn't been that way, and Chatard has made them pay. Here's the handoff up the middle. Dalen Taylor scoots forward for about 7 yards on the play. Or was that Gilbert that time? That was Gilbert on the carry. Darian Gilbert, as they spell Taylor for a moment. 6 carries and 40 yards for Gilbert tonight.
It's a great time to be a Marion Knight. Marion offers 32 different dual credit classes in collaboration with local colleges and universities. Students earn college credits to begin their college careers, and parents save on cost of college tuition. Find out more at marionhs.org.
Kyle Cheek will hand it off again. Gilbert on another carry. Gilbert weaving his way through traffic. Gilbert to the 22-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Esau Gonzalez. But Darian Gilbert showing the backup ain't too bad. A 42-yard romp that time for Gilbert.
Darian Gilbert, another senior on this team, wanting to get his time as well. Just a great job of really exploding on that play and picking up some big yardage here in the third quarter.
To put it in perspective for you, Marion's defense this year has averaged giving up 116 yards a game. Tonight, Chatard has gashed the Knights for 224. Double the average. And they're going to try to get some more here. Dalen Taylor bouncing off people. Miguel Ortiz finally able to knock him down at the 13-yard line, but pickup of about 9 that time for Taylor.
For over 136 years, the Knights of Columbus has fulfilled its mission to serve widows and orphans. Dedicated to providing charitable services and actively defending the church, the Knights know that protection starts at home and offer whole life, term life insurance, long-term care, disability income insurance, along with IRA and non-qualified retirement annuities. For more information, contact Stakowitz Agency.
Cheek throws, Sawinski catches, touchdown Bishop Chatard for Andrew Sawinski, his 22nd touchdown catch of the year. That leads the state of Indiana.
How many times have we saw that play and Sawinski make that catch over his shoulder, jumping up and coming down with it? What a great job by Cheek on the throw, and Sawinski, what a great job on that catch.
By the way, that is the 6th straight completion for Kyle Cheek and his 31st touchdown pass of the season. George Forsey on to try the extra point. It is up and it is good. And with 1:07 to go in the third quarter, make it 38-0 Bishop Chatard as you get another look at this perfect pitch and catch to Sawinski. And they did it against an all-conference defensive back in Michael Schnippel.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, we've seen no weaknesses on this Chatard team. Second time we've seen them this year, and just such a fantastic group of kids and dedicated seniors. Coach Doyle talked about before the game and talked about how dedicated this senior class was.
Now, if you have been with us all season on TV 46, we have unfortunately had our share of lopsided games this season. And you might say, well, it's 38-0. Why isn't the clock running? That rule is not being used at the semi-state level. And so we will not have a running clock tonight, or at least that's what we've been told.
That's what we've been told. Sometimes coaches and refs could get together, I believe, in a situation where it gets out of hand a little bit too much and they go ahead and run that clock.
Nevertheless, George Forsey on the approach will put the boot to it. And the Knights will field it back at the 6-yard line. And tackled at the 15 on excellent special teams coverage. And again, it's the starters in there on special teams. That's Tim McNeilis, their starting linebacker, who makes the hit on special teams.
Our punts and kicks tonight are sponsored by In-Tune DJ Service. Playing music is the easy part. Leading you through a smooth, trouble-free event is their specialty. You control all aspects of the reception, the dress code, the music selection, volume, and more. Check them out at intunedj.com to learn more and why a majority of their business is based on previous client referrals.
So it'll be Mitchell Florin coming out at quarterback here for the Marion Knights after that turnover. And let's see if Florin and everybody else can be on the same page here. The throw out into the flat, and Devion Taylor is wrapped up beautifully by Pat Mastrian that time, right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Trying to check on some other scores going around the state of Indiana. Some of the games, especially the ones over in the Central Time Zone, a little slow to start. We can tell you at halftime, Valparaiso leads Fort Wayne Bishop Dwenger 10-0. And Hobart was on top of East Noble the last we checked, 17-7, as Florin is brought down by Joe Calvert, the linebacker, after a pickup of 1.
Two quality teams from the region. We saw Valpo last week against Mishawaka. Just a team very similar to the Chatard team, very balanced on all aspects of the game.
Center Grove leads Ben Davis in the Southern 6A semi-state, 17-7. As the third quarter comes to an end, Here at Atulski Field, the emotions have been running high throughout this game, but the team running high, the Bishop Chatard Trojans. They'll go to the fourth with a 38-0 lead on Marion in the 3A North Semi-State on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt with you from Atulski Field in Mishawaka, 38-0 in favor of Bishop Chatard. Bo, for your Bills Heating Sideline Report, it's real simple. Does anybody beat Chatard next week?
I think, there is somebody, Chatard. And what I mean by that is last year, they had 7 turnovers in their semi-state game last year. I believe Chatard can beat themselves. And if they get too hyped, too focused on certain things, they can become overconfident and make mistakes like Marion did early in this game with a bunch of penalties.
Mitchell Florin's pass intended for Colin Kerr falls incomplete. And Marion will be looking at a 4th and 10 here and another punting situation for Hunter Renner, who is headed to Washington State University to kick for Mike Leach in the Pac-12.
It's that time of the year, so think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, services, and installations of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and fireman discount. Find them at pyramidequipmentinc.com.
The snap to Renner, he got it out of there, and now Andy Simpson throws the flag for running into the kicker, and this might be a roughing the kicker penalty this time, as 2 guys got Renner.
He's been under pressure all night, just right up the middle, and they're still on personal foul on it. Yep, that'd be automatic first down.
And the first down sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Stakowitz Agency. You mentioned all night long they've been coming after Renner, and this time 2 guys get him while he's got his leg up in the air, and that's what's going to be the roughing the kicker every time.
Every time you get that plant foot, that's going to be a roughing the kicker. I mean, that's an injury waiting to happen when you come in and drill that plant foot on a punter.
And obviously that wasn't the intent, but that was the result. Halftime in the 6A semi-state at Carmel, and the Greyhounds lead Merrillville 17-3. Western Boone on top of Triton Central in the 2A semi-state, 28-7. Here, Mitchell Florin looking to throw, scrambling out of the pocket, fires downfield, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it into the hands of Cairo Franklin.
A lot of pressure again by the Chatard defense. Florin able to escape a couple times on that play, just didn't have the arm strength to get it downfield.
Mitchell Florin came into the game 3 receptions away from getting the all-time single-season record, but that wasn't nearly as important to him as trying to win the football game. So when the head coach, Mike Davidson, said, hey, we need to play quarterback, Mitchell Florin said, of course. Here's the handoff to Malcolm Anderson. Anderson staggers his way forward for about 6 yards. Leo Dilt's in there on the tackle that time for Chatard.
So we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. Reminder, CB Custom Painting has been our 4th-quarter sponsor tonight. And our scoring for Marion, well, they don't have any, but that sponsor is Christensen Furniture. We'd like to thank them. They've been in business since 1912.
3rd and 4 for Marion. You take a look at this Marion team and what they've got coming back next year, Bo. They'll get their quarterback back, Maddox Begonia. They'll have their running back, Malcolm Anderson, hopefully healthy as this pass is complete out in the flat, but it is caught 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage by Jason Johnson. And so Marion will have to try to punt it out of there. The rebuilding for Marion on offense next year comes on the offensive line, where the only returning starter will be Trace Walter.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is they really need to replenish that offensive line next year. get some boys in the weight room and really get some guys that they're going to have to teach that position.
And defensively, man, do they have some rebuilding to do because they've only got 3 returning starters. Here's the snap to Renner.
There.
High kick. Sawinski going way back, and the baseball player makes the catch at the 20. Sawinski going backwards, though, and Marion with terrific special teams coverage brings him down back at the 9. Well, that was the best punt of the night for Renner.
Yeah, a kid going to Washington State, you look at him, you're like, well, he hasn't been punting that well. Well, he's had a lot of pressure tonight. You can see what happens when he doesn't get pressure. Boy, he boomed that one.
And so let's see how Rob Doyle plays it now with a 38-0 lead. It seems like he still has his starting offensive line in there.
Gilbert's
right
in at running back, it looks like.
Which doesn't surprise me at all because with Taylor having been gimpy a couple of times during the night, you would expect that to be the case. And it's still Kyle Cheek throwing bullets to Andrew Sawinski. And Sawinski stopped by a host of Marion players after a pickup of about 10.
For over 60 years, Imaginary Finishing Technologies has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for industry, including automotive, medical, aerospace, and military defense. Go to iftworldwide.com for more info. Visit iftworldwide.com. Accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, we're working for a great finish.
You saw Rob Doyle over on the sidelines for Chatard. You talk about a guy that paid his dues. The first 12 years of his coaching career were spent in the CYO League. As the handoff comes to Gilbert, and he's stacked up after a pickup of 1. Then he was an assistant coach at Chatard for 12 years. So basically a middle school coach, an assistant coach, 24 years of that, and finally, he's in his 3rd year as the head coach at Bishop Chatard.
Well, I think first off, it shows dedication to building and developing young kids and young men into men and young adults as well, and just a great dedication, and it takes a lot of time and effort in order to do that, sustain, and the pride that he has in this Chatard program as well.
We told you earlier, as you see Cheek throw the ball out in the flat, it goes off the hands of Thomas Coleman and incomplete. We told you earlier that he is a practicing attorney down in Indianapolis and also the head coach of the team. And he sees his role as an attorney and as a coach as basically the same. He's trying to teach people. When he gets a client in, he's trying to teach them how the law applies to them and different situations. And as a coach, he's obviously trying to teach these young men the game of football.
He found out how to be a teacher and make the most amount of money being a teacher.
Did not have to march on Indianapolis this week. Here's Gilbert with the handoff, and he's got another first down before he's knocked out of bounds by Michael Schnippel after a pickup of 11. And checking the numbers on Darian Gilbert, he is getting awfully close to the 100-yard mark. 9 carries, 94 yards tonight. He had a 100-yard game against Southport this season.
CB Custom Painting congratulates Marion on a great football season and wishes the teams tonight good luck. CB Custom Painting is a proud supporter of Marion High School and their athletic programs, and a special shout-out to number 13, Maddox Begonia.
1st and 10 for Bishop Chatard, up 38-0. 8.5 minutes to go in this one. And the handoff again to Gilbert, who sweeps through a hole, I should say. He wasn't sleeping. And Michael Schnippel is able to knock him out of bounds after another first down pickup, and that'll put Gilbert over 100 yards for the night as you get another look from South Bend Orthopedics. Schnippel carrying him out of bounds, escorting him over to the bench. Big smile on Gilbert's face. We told you earlier, transfer from Lawrence North. Comes into the Chatard family, really made to feel welcome. And you would think running back up to Dalen Taylor, it'd be easy to get jealous, but he's had himself a really nice year.
Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, when you can split carries in there with a guy that's gone for over 2,000 yards, I mean, you go in there and do your job and get your time as well.
Mitch Benting on the tackle of Gilbert that time, but this run is coming back for a holding call against Bishop Chatard.
St. Andrews Products has joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Call 800-628-9922 or email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what is the question?
At some point, you wonder if Rob Doyle is at all concerned about the possibility of an injury here, although this field is in very good shape. Kudos to Steve Ravato and the athletic department here at Marion, as here's a pass completed to Thomas Coleman. And look at Coleman weave his way through traffic down to the 19-yard line.
Well, and you speak of that, and we saw that just last week in college football, and saw one of the, if not the greatest college football coach in our time, when Nick Saban, be questioned and be basically thrown under the bus for playing Tua a little bit too long, what they thought.
By the way, Kyle Cheek now with 219 yards passing tonight against this Marion defense that had only been giving up 36 yards a game through the air. But Cheek has been able to riddle the Marion secondary. Devin Gilbert not able to get away from anybody that time. Stefano Sete came in and made the hit on Darian Gilbert.
Sete really coming up through that line, just exploding through there, hitting Gilbert in the backfield.
2nd down and 10. The Knights basically playing for pride here, trying to keep Bishop Chatard out of the end zone one more time. See the man in motion. Gilbert off the right side, got a nice block from Logan O'Brien and goes forward all the way to the 12-yard line. We talked about in the first half, but the wide receivers doing good blocking for Chatard. Of course, they have had offensive surge, but there's the tight end in play as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all across the board. I mean, we talk about really no weaknesses, and we really mean that when you're talking about blocking downfield and wide receivers blocking and guys pulling and picking up their proper block. A lot of times when somebody's pulling, they run by their guy they're supposed to hit and go to the next guy, and the guy gets tackled behind them. So just a great job in their assignment football.
Marion coming on a blitz and chasing down Darian Gilbert from behind. The blitz worked. Looked like Stefano Sete got in there one more time to make the stop with help from Mitch Benting.
McDonald Physical Therapy understands that you need less pain, more movement, and better health. They offer the area's top physical therapists and the most up-to-date technology, water therapy, and other cutting-edge treatments. To make sure you get the high-quality care you deserve, McDonald Physical Therapy is a proud supporter of high school sports and wishes all the athletes in tonight's game the best of luck.
A 4th and 3 now for Bishop Chatard. Down at the Marion 12-yard line. Gilbert deep in the backfield here. Cheek hands to him, and Gilbert gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but then surges forward. He had to get to the 10, and it looks like he's inside the 10 to the 9 for a first down.
Looks like he bounced off that first surge and rolled out to the outside, able to keep his momentum going, get that first down. Big pickup for Chatard on that play.
So Gilbert with a pickup of 4 on 4th and 3. And Chatard, as they have done all through the night, imposing their will here on the Marion Knights. So Bo Hunt will head downstairs to line up guests for our post-game show, as again Sete comes from behind to tackle the ball carrier Gilbert after a pickup of 1. Gilbert now at 14 carries for 116 yards. As you look at the big man for Marion, Anthony Roberts, the 6', 353-pound defensive tackle, trying to hold the line down here in this 2nd and goal situation. Chatard doing a very good job of bleeding time off the clock in this drive as we go under 4 minutes. Cheek from the pistol, pitches to Gilbert on the outside. There were tacklers set up there, but the momentum of Gilbert carries Schnippel all the way down to the 2-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and goal from there. Watch here, you'll see Schnippel was broken down and in position, but when Gilbert cut to the inside, he basically dragged Schnippel, who's not a small young man, 6 foot, 172 pounds, and took him right with him. You see the breath coming out from under the helmets on this cold November night. 3rd and goal from the 1. Cheek behind that offensive line, plows into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. So Kyle Cheek has run for 2 and thrown for 2 tonight. And Bishop Chatard makes it 44-0 on Marion. A time-consuming drive by the Trojans. The big completion to Coleman got a huge chunk of yardage in there. And Kyle Cheek will likely be our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game after this performance tonight. Hard to believe this was a scoreless ball game after 1 quarter of play. Offside called against Marion here. That'll be declined. Forsey used to kicking the extra points right from the 10. There's no need to change it. Pat Master in the holder. The snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good. And with 3:09 to go, the Bishop Chatard Trojans are headed to yet another state final thanks to the quarterbacking of Kyle Cheek. Number 5 has number 1 ahead, 45-0 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Well, the Bishop Chatard Trojan looking on to the fans right now with a very confident look on his face, and why not? His team up 45-0, and he'll be busy. Thanksgiving weekend down in Indianapolis. The Trojans will be playing in the state finals for the first time since 2015 when they beat West Lafayette for the state title. West Lafayette's who they beat for the sectional championship this year. George Forsey's kick will be fielded by Marion down at the 8-yard line. Mitchell Florin, who has had to work hard tonight, trying to break away from tacklers and can't do it. In fact, he's tackled inside the 5-yard line. Horrible field position for Marion. And Florin, who will be a very tired camper tonight after this one, has been working on quarterback skills, special teams, and he'll trot off the field here to get the play from the offensive coordinator, Brett Badek. Marion will wrap up this season with a record of 12-2. This will be the 6th semi-state that Marion has played in, the 6th time that they've taken a loss in the semi-state game. Of course, the Knights did have state titles back in the 1970s when there was a little bit different format to the tournament. But they've been unable to get past this level of the tournament since. 1st and 10, back at the own 5-yard line. The carry here, it looks like it's Malcolm Anderson still, and he carries out to about the 10-yard line. Anderson will be back next season for the Knights after a very productive junior campaign in which he ran for about 800 yards. 2nd and 6.
Anderson on the carry. Game 4.
Meanwhile, the Bishop Chatard Trojans will take a 13-1 mark into the state championship game next week. As you see, Mitchell Florin with a nice little run here for a first down out to the 20-yard line. The first down sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Stakowitz Agency. Florin came into the game at the quarterback position in the second quarter after Gabe Kerr started but was not effective. And while Florin has not been able to dent the end zone, he has been able to put together a few first downs. He's a very active player here at Marion High School. He's also a member of the wrestling team and involved in theater productions. Florin throws out in the flat. Malcolm Anderson with the catch, but Malcolm Anderson has a lot of white jerseys waiting for him, including Max Schrage, who has had a whale of a defensive game tonight, and Wyatt Schrader, the middle linebacker. The number one defense still out there for Bishop Chatard with 1:34 to go and a 45-point lead. Do see a couple of substitutes out there now for Chatard. Tom Lamarck, a linebacker, I see on the field now, and Anthony Boso, who had a special teams tackle earlier tonight. Michael Duffy out there as well as the snap is made to Florin. He throws out in the flat and has his man, and the catch made by Davion Taylor. And Taylor gets another first down, sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Stakowitz Agency. Ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line. A lot of happy folks from the north side of Indianapolis across the way. Why wouldn't they be? Bishop Chatard is going to win the 15th semi-state in its school history, which will tie Fort Wayne Bishop Lures for the most semi-states won in the state of Indiana football tournament. Here's the throw out into the flat to Malcolm Anderson. Max Schrage with yet another tackle here after a pickup of about 3. And the Marion Knights do have to run one more play, and then that'll do it for this one. Mitchell Florin breaks the huddle with his mates for one last play. Florin hands it off to Malcolm Anderson, and that will do it from Metulski Field for the 3A North Semi-State. The Bishop Chatard Trojans will play at Lucas Oil Stadium on Thanksgiving weekend. They are indeed state-bound after beating the Marion Knights 45-0 in the 3A North Semi-State. Don't go anywhere. Our post-game show is coming up next with our IHSAA Ben Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game and our electrifying Play of the Game. It's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Getting to this point last year, having a tough game last year, and then going what it means for going forward. So as soon as we get ready to go. Whenever you guys ready. Standing by with our player of the game, Kyle G. Kyle, first off, you guys got to this point last year, got to the semi-state. You guys, unfortunately, weren't able to come through. What does it feel like that you're going down to state?
It feels amazing, man. I mean, since the day that we lost that last semi-state game last year, we've been working. we've been working our butts off. We've been in the weight room almost every single day. Me and Swinsky were throwing in the snow, and just the fact that we're there and we have a chance to go win it, it's amazing.
Talk about your teammates, Swinsky, Dalen, Taylor back in the backfield. Just talk about your teammates and how much they step up.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta give credit to the defense, first of all. I mean, they shut that board out. All we needed was a field goal and we could have won this game. But yeah, Dalen, Darion, Sawinski, even TC, they're all great playmakers, and it's all behind one of the best O-lines in the state. I believe it's the best O-line in the state. That's a hard combination.
We saw you guys earlier in the year against Northwood, coming up here again against Marion. You guys have played a tough schedule. Just talk about how much that schedule has prepared you guys for the playoffs.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, the regular season, Coach Doyle, he always tries to get us some competition. He doesn't like cakewalks. He always likes to push us, see who we really are, what we're made of. And it helps us for times like these. When we play a great team like Marion, it helps us because we're ready. We've seen it before.
Finish up and I'll let you go, buddy.
Go
celebrate. Go celebrate, bud.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, turn your eyes to midfield. Athletic Director Steve Romano presents the Semi-State Championship Trophy to the Bishop Chatard Trojans.
Got to this point last year, got to the semi-state. You guys.
Watching the WHME TV Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
Back at Atulski Field in Mishawaka, the Bishop Chatard Trojans gathered around their head coach Rob Doyle, celebrating a trip to Lucas Oil Stadium next week as they will play for the Class 3A Indiana state title after beating Marion tonight 45-0 in the 3A North Semi-State. Chuck Freeby high above the fray. What another impressive performance by Bishop Chatard, which has now outscored its opponents in the tournament 241-61. They were dominant in every phase of the game. You could have picked about 5 different people as player of the game tonight, but there was one young man that had 2 touchdown passes and 2 touchdown runs, and that's the guy standing by now with Bo Hunt. Our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game is Kyle Cheek.
Standing by with our player of the game, Kyle Cheek. Kyle, first off, you guys got to this point last year, got to the semi-state. You guys, unfortunately, weren't able to come through. What does it feel like that you're going down to state?
It feels amazing, man. I mean, since the day that we lost that last semi-state game last year, we've been working. We've been working our butts off. We've been in the weight room almost every single day. Me and Swinski, we were throwing in the snow. And just the fact that we're there and we have a chance to go win it, it's amazing.
Talk about your teammates, Sawinski, Dalen, Taylor back in the backfield. Just talk about your teammates and how much they step up.
Yeah. I mean, I got to give credit to the defense, first of all. I mean, they shut that board out. All we need was a field goal and we could have won this game. But yeah, Dalen, Marion, Sawinski, even TC, they're all great playmakers, and it's all behind one of the best O-lines in the state. I believe it's the best O-line in the state. That's a hard combination.
We saw you guys earlier in the year against Northwood, coming up here again against Marion. You guys have played a tough schedule. Just talk about how much that schedule has prepared you guys for the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the regular season, Coach Doyle, he always tries to get us some competition. He doesn't like cakewalks. He always likes to push us, see who we really are, what we're made of, and it helps us for times like these. When we play a great team like Marion, it helps us because we're ready. We've seen it before.
Finish up, and I'll let you go, buddy.
Go
celebrate. Go celebrate, bud. Yep.
And indeed, Kyle Cheek and the rest of his Bishop Chatard teammates enjoying this one on the field with the fans as the Trojans head to the 3A state final next week. It's time now to look at our Electrical Workers Local 153 electrifying play of the game. It happened in the third quarter, one of Cheek's touchdown passes to the always explosive Dalen Taylor. It didn't look like much when it started, and then all of a sudden, Taylor cuts across the grain, finds the seam, and is off to the races for the touchdown. One of his 2 touchdown catches on the night. He also had a rushing touchdown and the semi-state trophy getting passed around by the Chatard Trojans. Yeah, Bo, when you think about the fact that they've won 15 semi-states, you might think, well, this is nothing new. For this group of kids, it is something new and it is something special.
It really is. And you saw that in the emotion that Kyle felt down there. And I felt it in the emotion when he was talking to me. Just the pure passion that they have. And not saying that any of these other schools don't or anything like that, but the pure passion that he had, he showed it. And that's just what high school kids have, that emotion and just that, not knowing when their last game is going to be. A lot of these seniors, this is the last time they're ever going to play football again. You can go out and play baseball again or slow pitch softball or a basketball game, but football, you're not playing it again after tonight for a majority of these kids.
So for the Marion Knights, a tough ending to the season, but a 12-2 season. And as Mike Davidson told us before the game, a very special season. They knew that they had a challenge in trying to beat Bishop Chatard, but they also knew that they were only one of 24 teams still playing tonight, and that says a lot.
It does. I mean, year in and year out, this Marion football program, you see them winning sectionals and regionals and getting to this spot. And again, they can't quite get that monkey off their back and get over the hump and get down to that state finals and get out of the semi-state. But the accomplishment to get to this situation takes a lot of dedication from a lot of people, not just the coaches and the players, but a lot of parents, administration, school boards, and staff as well.
Well, congratulations and best wishes to Bishop Chatard as they play in the Class 3A state finals next week. And our thanks to our TV 46 crew, which has done a stellar job all season long in cold and damp and hot conditions. Never seemed like we had one of those perfect nights for football, but all year long, this crew has been out here dedicated and passionate about high school football. And in 2 weeks, they'll get to work indoors at a gym as we get dedicated and passionate about high school basketball. That's going to do it for our coverage tonight of the 3A North Semi-State. Our thanks to our 46 crew led by the Bubbly One producer-director Tony Beltran and our usual cast of characters down in the truck and out running the cameras. Reminder, a big day of sports on Pulse FM tomorrow. It starts at 1 p.m. with Notre Dame women's basketball on 92.1 and 96.9. The Irish take on Michigan. Indiana and Michigan football on 103.1 at 3:30. Purdue and Wisconsin football on 92.1 and 96.9 at 4 p.m. And how about some Purdue basketball tomorrow night at 8 as they take on Jacksonville. And then don't forget, Thanksgiving weekend, just put your TV remote on 46 Friday and Saturday. All 6 state finals live from Indianapolis. Now for our entire 46 crew, my broadcast partner, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final from Metulski Field. Bishop Chatard 45, Marion nothing. So long from the Princess City.